Hi everybody, this is Crystal. So today I'm going to show you how to crochet this stitch, and I'm going to tell you how much yarn you're going to need to make a baby blanket. Now you can use this stitch for whatever you like. This is the interlocking shell stitch. So this is what it looks like on one side, and then if you were to flip it, this is what it looks like on the opposite side. I think both sides look great actually. They both look pretty cool to me, so whichever side you prefer. Remember, you don't have to make a blanket with this stitch. You can make a top, you can make a scarf, you can make anything that you want with it because it's a nice closed stitch. So why don't we go ahead and get started on it. I'll show you what yarn I used and if you know how much you'll need to make a baby blanket and stuff. Alright, but as always, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. If you have not already, don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my videos that I put on, and check out my hundreds and hundreds of tutorials that I have already on my channel. Okay, and give this video a like if you can. Alright, for this project, I used Bernat Forever Fleece Finer. So this is classified as a bulky number 5. Now you don't have to use a bulky number 5. I'm going to give you the multiple of the stitch so you can adjust your chain count to make it as long as you want it to be, depending on the project that you're doing. But to follow along with me and to get it to my size, you probably want to use a bulky 5. This is 100% polyester yarn. There are 385 yards per ball. Now I use 3 different colors. You can use as many different colors as you'd like, or you can do it solid. I do want to mention that it will the stitches will show up better if you use at least 2 colors, but you can use as many as you'd like. So the colors that I used were Petal, Petunia, and White Cloud. Now remember, you don't have to use it. It is a very nice soft yarn. Now the blanket that I made measures about 30 by 30. Now remember, you can make it bigger or smaller just by adjusting your chain count. I'm going to be using a size J, which is a 6mm crochet hook. Okay, so the interlocking shell is done in a multiple of 6 plus 1, which means that your beginning chain needs to be evenly divisible by 6, and then you add 1 more to it. So to make the blanket the size that I made it, you want to start out with a chain of 97 stitches. So I'm going to show you on a smaller scale. So once you get that chain amount done, 6 plus 1, or if you're following along with me, 97, we're going to go ahead and do a single crochet in the second stitch from our hook. Remember, this one doesn't count as a stitch. So in the second stitch, we're going to single crochet, and then we're going to work, and we're going to put 1 single crochet in every stitch for the length of our chain. Just like this. So 1 single in every stitch until you get to the end of the row. Alright, once you make it to the end of row 1, if you're following along with me, you'll now have 96 stitches. So we're going to go ahead and start row 2, and I'm going to leave the same color on my hook. So I'm going to chain 1 and turn my work. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put 3 single crochets into the, 3 double crochets into the very first stitch. 3 doubles. So that stitch right there, I'm going to yarn over, and we're going to put 3 double crochets into it. So there's 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to start the repeat of the row. We're going to skip 2 stitches, skip, and we're going to single crochet into the next. And then we're going to skip 2 stitches, skip, and we're going to put a shell stitch into the next. Now a shell stitch for this pattern is 5 double crochets into the same stitch. So you skip 2, and in the next one we're going to work 5 double crochets. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we're going to repeat again. We're going to skip 2 stitches, skip, skip, and single into the next. Skip 2 stitches, skip, skip, and shell into the next, which is 5 double crochets in the same stitch. So this is a pattern we're going to repeat for row 2. Repeat again. Skip 2, skip, skip, single into the next. And then we skip 2 again, skip, skip, and shell into the next. So go ahead and repeat this until you get to the last 3 stitches of your row. All right, I'm coming to the end of the row here. So I did a single crochet. Now if you look, it looks like you only have 2 stitches left, but actually this little chain here on the end counts as a stitch, so that would make it 3. So you got 1, 2, and then the chain on the end is the 3rd stitch. So we're going to go into that chain on the end. So that very last little chain there, we're going to go into that and we're going to work 3 double crochets. So we're going to skip those 2 stitches, skip, skip, and that chain that's hanging on at the end, we're going to work 3 double crochets into it. And we're going to switch, I'm going to show you how to switch colors now. So we're going to work 3 double crochets, but on the 3rd double is where we're going to switch colors. So I'll show you how we're going to do that. You can switch it to whatever color you like. I'll just go ahead and bring in white, I guess. And go ahead and work your 3rd double, but we're only going to work half of it. Okay? So yarn over and go into that stitch on my 3rd double and draw up a loop. Yarn over and go through the first 2 loops on my hook. I'm going to drop that color and I'm going to bring in my new color and pull it through like that. I'm going to put my work down, upside down, and I'm going to clip this pink color off, and I'm going to tie the tail of the pink and tie the tail of my white together in a nice tight knot so it doesn't come undone. And then we're going to crochet these tails in as we go. Alright, so now we're going to start row 3. So rows 3 and 4 are the repeat rows for the whole pattern. So we've done row 1, which was a single crochet row, and then we've done to row 2, and now we're going to start row 3. Row 3 starts to repeat rows 3 and 4. So we're going to chain 1 and we're going to turn our work. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go right back into the very first stitch right here, and we're going to work a single crochet, and then we're going to chain 2. 1, 2. Now we're going to work a double crochet 5 together over the next 5 stitches. So it's very easy. We're going to yarn over, go into the next stitch, draw up a loop, and yarn over and go through the first 2 loops on your hook. We want to do that over 5 stitches. So again, we're going to yarn over and go into the next stitch, draw up a loop, yarn over and go through the first 2 loops on our hook. That was 2 stitches. Yarn over, go into the next stitch, draw up a loop, yarn over and go through the first 2 loops on our hook. That was 3 stitches. Yarn over and go into the next stitch, draw up a loop, yarn over and go through the first 2 loops on our hook. That was 4. We're going to do it again. Yarn over and go into the next stitch, draw up a loop, yarn over and go through the first 2 loops on our hook. Now you'll have a total of 6 loops that remain. We're going to yarn over and go through all 6 loops, and we're going to work a chain of 2. 1, 2. And now we will repeat what we just did. So we're going to single crochet into the next stitch, chain 2, and then we're going to do a double crochet 5 together over the next 5 stitches. So yarn over, go into the next stitch, draw up a loop, yarn over and go through the first 2 loops. Yarn over, go into the next stitch, draw up a loop, yarn over and go through the first 2 loops. Yarn over and go into the next stitch, draw up a loop, yarn over and go through the first 2 loops. Yarn over and go into the next stitch, draw up a loop, yarn over and go through the first 2 loops. Yarn over and go into the next stitch, draw up a loop, yarn over and go through the first 2 loops. That was 5 times, and you'll have 6 loops on your hook. Yarn over and go through all 6 and chain 2, and we repeat again. Single crochet into the next stitch and chain 2. Then we do a double crochet 5 together, and then we chain 2, and then we single crochet in the next and chain 2. So we're just going to repeat this pattern until we get to near the end of the row. Alright, I'm coming to the end of row 3, and I just did a double crochet 5 together, and I'm going to chain 2, and I'm going to single crochet into the last stitch, but I'm going to switch colors here. So what I'm going to do is go into the last stitch and draw up a loop, and I'm going to set it down here. I'm going to clip off my white and bring in my new color here. Remember, you can switch colors as often as you like. Every row, never. Every other row, every 2 rows, it does not matter. But I'm going to go ahead and bring my new color through. And I'm going to go ahead and tie the 2 tails together of my white and my light pink. And I'll hide those tails as I go along. So now we're going to start row 4, which is the repeat, last row of the repeat. So we are going to chain 1 and turn our work. So what we're going to do is we're going to put 3 double crochets into our first single crochet. So there's 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to start the repeat of row 4. We're going to skip this chain 2 space, and we're going to put a single crochet into the top of the double crochet 5 together. So it's that spot right there. It's not this tight chain space there. See that tight spot? Don't go into that. Go over here, right there, that bigger, looser spot, and single crochet. And now we're going to put 5 double crochets into the next single crochet. We skip this chain 2 space, and we work 5 doubles into the next single crochet. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now we're going to repeat it again. Skip this chain 2 space, and right here into the top of the double crochet 5 together, this spot right here, we single crochet, and then we skip this chain 2 space and we work a shell, which is 5 double crochets, into the next single crochet. Repeat it again. Skip this chain 2 space, single crochet into the top of the double crochet 5 together. Skip this chain 2 space, and we put a shell into the next single crochet. Now we're going to repeat this pattern until we get near the end of the row. Right, I'm coming to the end of row 4. I just did a single crochet into the top of my last double crochet 5 together. I'm going to go ahead and end by putting 3 double crochets into my last stitch here. And then you can switch colors if you want, continue with the same color, but that's it. It's just a repeat now of rows 3 and 4, back and forth, back and forth. Now if you want to follow along with me, I did it till I reached about 30 inches, and then I'll go ahead and show you how to finish off the top to make it square like that. Okay, so about 30 inches or so, and I'll meet back up with you. Alright, so once you get your piece as long as you want it to be, I'm going to show you how to finish off. So you want to make the round before the last round. Make sure it's one that you do chain 2 spaces on. And then we're going to go ahead and switch colors like we normally would here. I did chain 2 there after that last group. Add my collar on. This is after you get it as big as you want it to be. Okay? And then we will chain 1, and then we're going to turn our work around. So for the finishing around, we're just going to do a round of row of single crochet. So we're going to go ahead and go back into the same stitch and put a single crochet. And then in the chain 2 space, we're going to work 2 single crochets. And in the top of this double crochet 5 together, a single crochet, 2 single crochets into the next chain 2 space, 1 single crochet into the next single, and we're just going to repeat this. 2 single crochets in the chain 2 space, and then single crochet into the top of the double crochet 5 together, or 1 single crochet, I'm sorry, 1 single crochet in the top, and then 2 single crochet into the chain 2 space, and 1 single crochet into the single crochet. So I'm going to repeat this pattern all the way around. I'm working 1 single crochet into every single crochet, 1 single crochet into the top of every double crochet 5 together, and then 2 single crochets in each of the chain 2 spaces. Alright, when you make it to the end, you go ahead and put 2 single crochets into that last chain space and end by putting 1 single crochet into the last stitch, and then you can tie this off and hide any remaining tails that you have. Clip off any tails that you have, and that is it. I hope that you enjoyed my tutorial. I hope that you were able to follow along okay. And remember, if you make this or anything else, I'd really love to see a picture of it. You can show me a picture on my Bagoday Crochet Facebook page. You can show me a picture on my Instagram page. Yep. So this is one side, and here is the other side. I like both sides actually equally, so whichever side that you prefer can be your right side. But that's it. Thanks everybody for watching. Have a good day. Bye guys.